Hi everyone, so today I'm going to do a video about my Clarisonic. I get so many people ask me like, how do I use it, what do I use it with, and you know, what my experience was like with it. So I'm just going to go through all of that for you today instead of answering individual comments loads. So yeah, I've got the Clarisonic Classic, oh, put the lid on, in the pink. It was about £150 this one. So they are quite steep. I know they do the minis as well, which are slightly smaller. They have slightly less settings, but they're just as good. And those are around sort of like 120, so not a lot less. So first of all, I'll just go through kind of like a little bit about my experience with the Clarisonic. I got it about a year ago now, but I haven't been the best with it. I kind of have been a bit on off, not using it every day, but kind of in the last sort of 5 or 6 months I've really got into using it properly. I don't use it day and night. I find that is far too much for my skin. I think it's very subjective, so you know, what works for me isn't necessarily going to work for you. My experience won't be what you might find if you use it, but you know, just personally I found that I never went through a purging phase. I never got that. I think a lot of people are scared about going through those sort of like 2 or 3 weeks of like having really bad skin, just because it's pulling out all the impurities and things and kind of really like refreshing the skin from deep down. But the only real answer to that is, you know, possibly you might go through that. It's all about your skin and your body. Everybody's different. You know, a lot of people have gone through that and some people haven't. And I just think that it's going to be a kind of a wait and see thing. I know it's horrible, but as long as you get through it and you like really persevere, I think you will see the difference and you'll, you know, be thankful for doing it. I did experience like kind of a bit of a dryness. I've never really had dry skin, but I think using this like every day and night has just sort of like made little dry patches around my nose and my forehead and stuff, so that's why I only use it at night, just to like really deeply cleanse my skin, because in the morning anyway I don't really think, you know, I need to take that much off. All I have is my moisturiser from, you know, the night before, so no makeup or anything, so I don't use it then. In terms of the benefits that I found that it's given me, I just have kind of a lot more flawless skin. I mean, I still get the occasional blemish and things, I'm sure everyone does, but they're not as often and they do go down a lot quicker if I'm using this. I think it hasn't minimised my pores as much as I thought it would. So I still have, you know, quite large pores around my cheeks there and my nose, but it has reduced them a little bit. So I think another sort of 6 months use could really shrink those down quite a lot. The main thing I have noticed, and the best thing I found from it, is I kind of get, or I used to get little pimples under the skin, so not spots but just little kind of white bumps. And you know, there was nothing that I could get rid of them. I like exfoliated them and everything all the time, nearly every day, and they just sort of stayed there under the skin, like never coming into like a real spot, just being annoying in general. But this has really got rid of them, just, you know, kind of concentrating it slightly on those. They were mainly like round here. Just they got rid of them. I don't know how. It probably took about 2 or 3 months, but they just vanished and I haven't seen one since, which is really great because they used to annoy me so much. Just like little, you could sort of catch them under the light and they were just little bumps along your skin. But yeah, I don't suffer from them anymore, so I think that's probably the best thing and the main thing that it's done for me, is just like really deeply clean out my skin. The cleansers that I find work best with it, I've got a kind of 2 that I use all the time, and then a few others that I kind of like substitute in now and then. So the first one, when I started using my Clarisonic, the first thing that I used with it was the Clinique Liquid Facial Soap. This is one of my favourite cleansers. I don't use it that often anymore. I did mention it in my skincare routine as being the one that I use the most, but I've kind of swapped it for a product that I'll talk about in a minute. But this one I do really like. It's a really good one for foaming up, so if you want a cleanser that's going to be really like nice and frothy, you're going to really deeply cleanse with like a nice bubbles, this is really good. It kind of like dissolves away your makeup, so you don't have to like cleanse with something else beforehand. And this one I find works really well with the Clarisonic, just because it is so you know, frothy and bubbly. I think those are the best ones to use with it, just because they really deeply cleanse and they work really well with the bristles. The only thing I have found with this one recently is, I'm not sure if it's because it's summer or my skin's just changing a bit, but it's getting so dry at the moment, and this one does have a tendency to slightly leave it feeling a bit tight, so I haven't been using that one as much anymore. I still love it as a cleanser, I still have like an entire bottle left, but I just haven't been using it so much. But it's great if you have kind of really oily skin, you know, it's not going to dry it out. And you can get different types, you know, for this is dry combination, and you can get ones for dry skin, which is obviously going to be a bit more moisturising. But that I think is a really good one to use. And then the second thing, the one that I use most regularly at the moment, and I did a blog post about this as well, so I'll link that below if you want to go and have a bit more of an in-depth read about it, is Philosophy Purity Cleanser. Now, this cleanser is a little bit controversial. There are some people that think it's kind of too full of chemicals and big long words that I can't really pronounce, and it's just not really like a good representation of like Philosophy as a brand, who is supposed to be all kind of like natural and philosophical, and you know, but I mean, I haven't found it done anything to my skin. I haven't found it's like irritated it or caused any reactions or anything, so as bad as people say it is, I really like it, and I think a lot of people do actually. This one is a little bit less frothy than the Clinique one, so it doesn't kind of foam up quite as much, which is good because you don't get as many bubbles up the nose as you do with that one. It foams up, but you know, just the right amount, so it still kind of really deeply gets into the skin, but it's just a lot easier to work with. It smells lovely. It's kind of like really fresh and really lemony. So when I use this, I use it kind of like in the morning and the evening, and it just like brightens up my skin if I've had like a long day or if I can't wake up. It just really kind of makes me feel a lot more fresh. That one is really, really good. I've only got a little bottle. This was about £8 from Boots, so it's just like to try it out. But it's lasted me for such a long time, probably about 2 months, I think. Well, about 3 months actually. And I've still got like half an inch left in there, so, you know, good value for money. I think the full sizes are around about 20 something. Quite an expensive cleanser really, but you know, this little £8 bottle, really good to try. And then last of all is the Murad Time Release Acne Cleanser. Now I mentioned this in my last favourites video, which would have been May, and I really, really like this cleanser. I found that it's like the best cleanser for getting rid of any kind of little spots and things, any acne you might have, but it doesn't dry out the skin. So unlike other kind of blemish based kind of like treatments and cleansers and things, which really, really strip away the skin, I don't believe in using those at all. I think just a regular cleanser is the best thing to do if you've got spots and things. But this, really, really like it. It's kind of like moisturising and it doesn't froth up too much. A lot less than the Philosophy one. But I just feel it really cleans my skin, and it's got salicylic acid in it as well. Just a little bit, 0.5%, and I think that's just what really helps improve like the tone of the skin and any little blemishes and things. But that, with the Clarisonic, I think that really works it in, and that's what really kind of makes it work the best. I think that's why I've seen the best results with it. So those are the main ones that I use, and then there are a few cleansers that I use now and again if I just want something a little bit different. So my Lash Cleanse and Polish is one that I use quite a lot. I use this every day anyway, so I'll do this before using Clarisonic usually, just to take off all my makeup. I know a lot of people do use this with the Clarisonic, but I find that it's just a little bit too creamy, too kind of like, you can't get it around the face very easily, if that makes sense. But what I will do is I'll put a layer of this all over, massage it in, and instead of going straight for the muslin cloth and wiping it off, I will just use the Clarisonic all over. So just like massage it really deeply into the skin. So if I've been wearing like a thicker foundation, or if I'm wearing a lot of makeup and I want to really, really deeply cleanse my skin, then I'll just, you know, add that little extra step. I will use it afterwards again with another cleanser, like the Philosophy one, but I just find that kind of really, really works it into the skin. And then another one that I use occasionally is the Burt's Bees Orange Essence Facial Cleanser. I did do like a blog post about cleansers, and I said this is one of my least favourite ones in it. And it still kind of is. It's very thick, kind of like oily texture cleanser, like really leaves a residue on your skin. But I found that if you use it with the Clarisonic, it kind of almost breaks down that oiliness. So I'll use this if I have like really, really dry skin and I want to really moisturise it. So I'll pop it all over and then I'll go over with the Clarisonic. And I just find it leaves the skin really like supple and moisturised. Without like any residue on, but you can feel that your skin has been like moisturised with it. So that one I think is a really good one as well. Burt's Bees, I think it's about £10, so it's not that expensive. It smells amazing. I wish it worked better just like with soap, like with water. Oh, because it smells like chocolate orange. It just is really, really good. But that I think with the Clarisonic, just because it breaks it down a bit better, but on its own I wouldn't really recommend that. So those are pretty much all the cleansers that I use. Mainly these two at the moment, the Philosophy one and the Murad. But I would say that probably the best, in my opinion, at the moment is the Philosophy Purity one. I think if you're just starting out with the Clarisonic and you want a cleanser to use that you know is going to work really well, something which isn't too cheap but isn't really, really expensive, that is just going to really cleanse the skin quite deep down, and it's just going to work best with this. I think the Philosophy Purity one's really good to go for. So that's my whole experience and the best cleansers that I think work with it. I hope you enjoyed that, and let me know, you know, if you use one and what you use with it. I'm always like wanting to try out new cleansers too. So yeah, thanks for watching and I'll see you later. Bye.